Good afternoon. Today is the 26th of March. I do apologise for the terrible lighting where I am. I'm in a secret location somewhere in Surrey. And yes, this is just the time that I have to record the question and answer session that was delayed from yesterday because of tyre problems in my mother's Mercedes-Benz, as you all know about. I haven't got the most amount of time to cover these questions. We haven't actually had that many of them. But thank you for everybody who sent them in. Hopefully I'll get your names right. And I do have my secret mission documents here, which have the information that I need in them. So without further ado, let's get on with the first question. So Richard Howlett writes, how many mainstream car groups are there? The Volkswagen Empire, most other European brands under one umbrella, the Korean and Japanese marques joining forces. I know it's a way of the world to pull resources, but lack of real choice can only be a bad thing, surely. Well, we've got groups like Mercedes-Benz, who have a sort of alliance with Renault and Nissan and Mitsubishi. We've got other brands that are sort of on their own. BMW and Mini are kind of on their own. They own lots of other dormant brands, but those are ones they normally use. And then we've got groups like Stellantis, which is the former Fiat Chrysler, and PSA. Then the others I could think about would be General Motors, Ford and Lincoln, Volkswagen Group, Kia and Hyundai, and of course Renault, Nissan, Mitsubishi and Stellantis. There are probably others. Mahindra and SsangYong are kind of the same company for the moment, and Tata obviously with Jaguar Land Rover. But yeah, I don't know, because we have this funny time we're living in where everything's going electrified and we have to pass all these sort of regulations to get cars through emissions testing and things like that. I think this is just going to continue. There is still a lot of choice. Just thinking about, Stellantis, that's something like 11 brands. And, the cars within them are quite different. So, don't know really. The jury's out on that one. We normally do this one at the end, but we'll do it at the beginning this time. Because I just like doing it, and it's just the way it's come up on my sort of comment sorting for some reason. Trabelli. It's going to be another secret mission. 1994. The Dash Lottery has been launched. Excellent. But the truck carrying all the money in Noel Edmonds has been hijacked. That's not very good. You're watching the whole thing on live television. You get a call on your Motorola M400 phone from your boss. I've never seen an M400 myself. My mother did have a Motorola in the early 90s though. Maybe it's the same one. Got a phone call, the boss got a truck back. The truck is headed towards North Wales, but you're in Yeovil for some reason. What car at the time would you use to chase the truck? It has to be a 7-seater. It's more than a one-man job. And then when you've caught the truck, you're rewarded with any executive-sized car, minimum 3-litre engine, of your time for yourself, and any mid-sized sporty hatchback of a time for your good lady wife. Which two cars would you choose? Good luck. Well, I think the only car I can think of really for the job is the Volvo 960 Estate with that white block engine. It's probably going to handle better than anything else, like a Toyota Previa or Peugeot 806 or something like that. Don't like those. So yeah, hopefully the two chaps in the boot are quite short. Obviously the 7-seat option on those. Going to be nice and comfortable as well with the GLE, so lots of luxury. And hopefully we'll cash up those pesky people in the lottery truck. And if I do happen to catch them, I don't run out of fuel, it's not the most economical car in the world, that 960, then I would like a nice Honda Legend with a 3.2-litre engine. Myself and my lady wife can have a 2-litre V6 Mazda 323F, I called the BA 323F, so at the time I used to have one of those, but it was 1.5, and obviously it's got to be in green with a beige leather interior. There we are. David H asks, what was your favourite car from the 1990s that was produced in the following countries? United Kingdom, France, Spain, Japan and Malaysia. Well, the UK, I really like the Rover 400 Tourer. I really, really like it for some reason. I don't know why so much, but I like that. Obviously in dark green, the beige leather interior, and it's got to be a GSI. Then from France, I think I like the Peugeot 605. I'd really like to review a Peugeot 605 on my channel. That'd be excellent. I'd really like to see one of those. From Spain, mainly we've got Seats here. I mean, you could probably go into some Fords and Opals and things and Vauxhalls, but I think I like the Seat Toledo Mark II. It was launched right at the end of the 1990s, the Seat Toledo Mark II. The lane wasn't out yet, and it looks very similar to one. The front end's almost the same. Seat Toledo Mark II. You could have them with some nice engines, actually, those ones. Japan, I think I like the Mazda ZDOS 9. I was thinking of putting the ZDOS 6, but I've always found the legroom in the ZDOS 6 really limited because it's the same platform as the 323F. So ZDOS 9. And then Malaysia, Proton Coupe. Proton Coupe, absolutely. 133 horsepower engine, same one as in the Proton GTI. I think they came the Proton Coupe came out in about 1999, so I think I'm probably okay with that. So there we go. Sean Cook says, my question is this. The most affordable Range Rover all at the moment is the P38A. Yes, we know about the P38s. Would you consider this iconic success story under BL, Rover, BMW, Ford and Toyota would like to candidate for a sensible second-hand or tweed jacket review? If I've got the complete wrong end of what I do, what the vehicles you're trying to share on channel, please do not hesitate, don't write. I don't know, let's just put the light on in here. There we go, that's probably a little bit better. Or look a bit, yeah. I don't know, it's this one or that one. I don't know. We'll keep going with this one because that makes me look a bit ill. I'm not a massive fan of the P38. I don't tend to be very reliable. The L322s, I have experience one because a friend of mine used to own one of those. And again, they're a bit better than P38s, but still aren't that reliable. Range Rovers really are far more like a high peak autos type thing than this channel. Yeah, I think I'm gonna have to say probably the Range Rover's not top of my list to review. I'd like to film one, but I don't think I'm probably going to be desperate to do one at the moment. There are a couple of times the questions I've been asked I've actually already answered them in the comments, and they're quite specific ones from a couple of people, so I don't actually know if I need to repeat myself. I've already actually done the answers in the comments, and we've come to a conclusion anyway. But next one we'll go for is Adam Toms. He says, I like the sound of a sensible second-hand classic. So do I. My question is, what do you think of Suzuki team with Toyota? Suzuki are now producing the badge engineered RAV4 as the Across and the Swace, which is a Corolla hybrid estate. Do you think badge engineering works or create a bland choice for the consumer? Oh, bad engineering's been going on forever. Like, the 8016, 1100, 1300 models that BMC used to make were all badge engineered. And people sort of used to like them. I really like the Riley version of those myself. I think the Suzuki tie-up thing is about trying to get cars into our market that are all sort of, compliant with legislation. And they don't really have too many of them unless they go hybrid. I'm going to turn this light on now. They are going to have to go, hybrid for most of them, and that's what they've been doing. So, yeah. I think we'll see more of it. I don't know how many cars they'll sell in terms of, somebody not buying a Corolla or not buying a RAV4 in favour of a Swace or an Across, because the Toyotas have a 5-year warranty and Suzuki's don't. So it's really down to preference. It's like the Igo and the C1 and the 108 and, all the cars based on Volkswagen Up. It's just a matter of fact. I don't know if it gets a bland set of choices. I don't know how I feel about it, really. My Toledo I used to have was badge engineered because it's basically a Skoda Rapid. So, I don't know. I'm interested to hear the thoughts of the rest of people here as well. Steve Staff writes, my question is, would you like to see more manufacturers reintroduce reincarnations of previous models in the way Fiat did with the 500 in 2007 and the Beetle in 1998, and then again, I think it was 2013 or something, the latest one came out. I forget. Well, that's already happening because the Renault 5 is coming back as an electric car, so is the Renault 4. I'm not sure there are too many other sort of iconic cars we haven't seen, reincarnated. I mean, the E-Type basically was reincarnated as an F-Type for, in that sort of way. They're similar in concept, although I'm not sure that F-Type's going to last that much longer on the market, unfortunately. So, yeah, that's possibly something that there is a limited list. Although the one I really wanted to see was the Lancia Fulvia concept that came out in about 2003. Why Lancia did not back into production, I have no idea. I was really, really keen to see that car, but there we go. Never mind. Davey from Scottish Car Enthusiast TV says, I know the car as well, but can you type lip? Well, that was, the Fiesta. What is your earliest car memory as a child? In terms of memories of the vehicle, there was a little wooden truck that my father bought me and my brother and my sister, whatever it was, 85 or something like that. That's my earliest memory of the vehicle. My earliest memory of the actual car is bizarrely not my parents' 1983 Volkswagen Jetta. It's one of the Maestros that my grandparents had. I remember going to a holiday cottage in Shropshire in the sort of mid-late 80s and seeing it's a blue Maestro 1.3 HLE. I don't know why, but I remember that a bit more than my parents' Jetta, which they would have had at the time. Yeah, interesting one, that. So, next one we've got is from Fergus Ogilvie. Fergus, of course, who supplied the Skoda Karoq for the Christmas special on Two Jacket Reviews. I don't know if I would do necessarily what he says. He says, maybe you could do your favourite 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s classics as a video. I'm not sure I would do that. I mean, if I get stuck, I might do it. But he says 60s a Hillman Hunter, 70s Rover 2000 of Triumph Stag, 80s Ford Capri, 90s a Rover 100. Wow, maybe you should go and buy that one that's at KGF Classics then. Mr. Richardson drove that in Furious Driving. I think for me, I have a look at this, and I prefer the Mark 1 Triumph 2000 as opposed to the Mark 2. I don't know why. I've grown to love the Innsbruck facelift of that car a bit more, but I like the way the original 2000 looks. So that's 60s. Lancia Fulvia as well. I'm a big fan of those. I don't know whether I prefer the earlier ones or later ones, really. Daimler Sovereign, which was the original one from 66, it was sort of a Jaguar S-type with a facelifted front end. I prefer Daimler to Jaguar. I'm that sort of person, I think. 70s Humber Scepter, which is the luxury version of a Hillman Hunter. Triumph Dolomite, yes, I used to have one of those. I think probably a Sprint because of professionals. And then a Ford Capri Mark III, what can I say? 80s, Ford Corona Mark II facelift, like Mr. Coleman's. Rover ST3, the original 200. Triumph Acclaim, our neighbours used to have one of those. And then the Montego. Might sleek in the sort of Volvo 480 they had after the Acclaim as well, because I quite like that. I know they're not great cars in many ways, but I just quite like them. 1990s, what's the Rover R8, of course. The Honda Legend, that might come up a little bit. Has already come up in the video, I think. Yes, it has. Mazda 323 FV6, again, already come up in the video. So there we go, some lovely 90s classics. Mr. Bill from Walls Wheels asks, my question is this: if you could build a car from the ground up using a range of existing cars to use every day, what would the shell be? What engine would power it? Would you have all automatic and manual gearbox, choke, or fuel injection, or any bits of information? Well, first of all, it's going to be dark blue with a beige leather interior. That is a given. Probably Android Auto, Apple CarPlay inside. I don't think I need a sat nav. I find them annoying. Nice conventional dials. The shell will probably use the MG5 EV, but we'll stick with hybrid powertrain from the HS plug-in hybrid in there. But I really want a manual gearbox. Please, will somebody engineer a plug-in hybrid with a manual gearbox? Nice 6-speed manual. Fuel injection, don't want to bother with chokes, particularly for an everyday car. Yeah, I think that's about it. Dark green beige leather interior, a nice decent set of equipment, including heated and ventilated seats. Final question for today is from Jonathan Bramble. And there was some lively discussion in the comment section about this. he says, my question, I've seen Mr. Hubnut, that's Ian Seabrook, hasn't got much love for Top Gears. They keep smashing up all the less expensive cars like Marinas and such like. Can I ask your stance on this matter? You know, I don't know if I feel as strongly about this as some people do. Sometimes you have a car that's absolutely, totally far gone, and there's no way that car can be put back on the road, because either it's pretty rotten or there's just not enough value in doing it. You know, I'd like to drive a Marina, I'd love to drive an Allegro, I'd like to drive a Maxi and a Princess and all these other sort of older British Leyland type things. Even the Ambassador, I'd have a real hankering to drive an Ambassador Van den Pla. Yeah, because I'm strange. I don't know. You know, the Renault 11s they had on Top Gear the other day, they're not very common over here. I mean, you know, Mr. Coleman, when he had the lovely Margot, which was his Renault 11, that he took to Santa Paul in 2019, I mean, they're very, very rare, but in other countries, maybe they're not. I don't know. It really depends. It really depends. I mean, the saddest one probably for me that they destroyed was actually the Ital, because the Itals are rarer than Marinas are. And they actually changed the doors to make it look more like a Marina in the front end. It's a very strange kind of hybrid, that Ital they destroyed with a piano on its roof. I mean, if they're really, really rare like that, like an Ital is, then, you know, and obviously I have a hankering to drive an Ital anyway, I quite like them, then yes, but if the thing's totally rotten and it's worth about 50 pence and there's no useful parts on it, then what else are you going to do? So it's either that or just throw it in the scrapyard. It really depends. I mean, Mr. Coleman, because he's a champion banger racer, has a very philosophical approach on this as well. I mean, he has raced really rare stuff. I won't tell you sort of what they are, but some of the cars he's raced would still be worth repairing even after a banger racer meeting. You know, that's how valuable they actually are and rare. But some of them, you know, just it's just if they're full of rust and just there's no decent panels on them and you can't even use the interior, then what are you going to do with it? What can you do with it? There really isn't much. So, yeah, you know, I don't think I feel quite as strongly as everyone else does, but, you know, that Ital that they destroyed did sort of annoy me a bit. Anyway, I think we've reached the end of answering your questions. Thank you very much indeed for everybody who asked them. I can't believe you've done 18 question and answer videos. But anyway, so thank you ever so much indeed once again for watching. I do apologise about the lighting. This was the only time I could actually record this video today because I'm doing a secret mission in Surrey over these couple of days that I'm here. But yes, social media links are in the description below. Please don't forget to subscribe to the channel for more entertainment of varying degrees of quality. Don't forget to ring the notification bell, like this video, and leave a comment below. Thank you ever so much indeed once again for watching.